So there are a lot of changes coming for federal student loans within the next few months, next few years. And with the passing of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, I know for Parent Plus borrowers, it can feel extremely overwhelming, especially with the repayment options that will be available for you to pay back your student loans. So I want to talk a little bit about that. Not only just the repayment options under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act and what that means, but also forgiveness programs. There's still very much forgiveness programs that are available for those who have Parent Plus loans. But let's talk about what the changes mean under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, because there are some dates that are important for Parent Plus loan borrowers to be aware of. So that way you'll know exactly what it is that you need to do, if anything, with your loans. So with the changes, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, which was implemented on the 4th of July of 2025, there's changes that's going to be coming to repayment options. And what that means is that if you are a Parent Plus loan borrower, and you consolidate your loans prior to July 1st, 2026. So by June 30th, 2026, although the Department of Education is saying that they want you to start that consolidation process a lot sooner, at least 3 months in advance, because we see what's happening with the Department of Education. They are behind with a lot of applications, and then with the staffing being cut, you want to make sure that you get that consolidation application in if you need to consolidate as early as possible. But if your loans are consolidated prior to July 1st, 2026, and you are enrolled in the income general repayment plan before July 1st, 2028, then you'll be eligible for an income general repayment plan once these current plans are phased out. So we know that the SAVE plan, income contingent repayment, and also pay as you earn, all of those plans are going to be phased out on or before the 1st of July of 2028, although there isn't any set date. But we know that that's going to happen prior to the 1st of July or by the 1st of July, 2028. So what that means that as a Parent Plus borrower, as long as your loans are consolidated, then you'll be eligible for income-based repayment. You're not eligible for the repayment assistance plan, the new plan that was created under the One Big Beautiful Bill, but you will be eligible for income-based repayment. Another thing is Parent Plus loan borrowers that consolidate existing Parent Plus loans or take out new Parent Plus loans after July 1st, 2026 will only be eligible for the new standard repayment plan. So what that means is that if you are a current Parent Plus, so you currently have Parent Plus loans, you consolidate those loans, or you take out a new loan, then you'll only be eligible for the standard repayment plan. So anything after July 1st, 2026, you'll be only eligible for the new standard repayment plan. And if you are a Parent Plus borrower and you qualify for public service loan forgiveness, only the 10-year standard repayment plan is eligible for PSLF, which is I'm going to talk about later on in the video, but that's for the sake of this 10-year standard repayment plan for PSLF. Existing Parent Plus, if you already have consolidated, you have that direct Parent Plus loan. That means you already have access to income contingent repayment. We know that that plan is going to be phased out by the 1st of July, 2028, and you'll be transitioned into income-based in the future. Now, one thing to note about Parent Plus loans is that when you are a Parent Plus loan borrower and your student enters into school, when you take out these loans, you don't necessarily have to go into an in-school deferment while your child is in school. Because what happens is when you are in that in-school deferment while your child is in school, that means that you could be losing precious time that you could be accumulating forgiveness credits, so to speak, towards getting the loans discharged, meaning that if you are a Parent Plus borrower and you qualify for public service loan forgiveness, if you are currently sitting in a in-school deferment, and this means only if you can pay while your child is in school, that if you are sitting in this deferment while your child is completing their program and you qualify for PSLF, then that's potentially, 4 years that you are not getting credit because for PSLF, which I'm going to talk about later in this recording, you have to be actively paying under a qualifying repayment plan and also working for the qualifying employer. But if you are in that deferment along with while your child is in school, that means during that time you're not making any payments, and you're not getting any credit towards forgiveness. Okay. Parent Plus borrowers again must consolidate into a direct consolidation loan, and the loan must be dispersed by June 30th of 2026. That's what I was speaking about earlier, that the Department of Education wants you to at least start that consolidation process 3 months prior to that date. Because of all the backlog, you want to make sure that you are doing that. Parent Plus borrowers should not consolidate Parent Plus and non-Parent Plus debt together. The consolidation loans that includes any Parent Plus debt is subject to the One Big Beautiful Bill or OB3 restrictions. And if also some Parent Plus borrowers, you have your own federal student loans. And what happens is if you have your own federal student loans and also Parent Plus loans, your federal student loans, your direct federal student loans have more options than the Parent Plus loans. So if you do that consolidation together, then the system is going to be recognized. If you consolidate your Parent Plus loans and also your own student loans together, it's going to be recognized as it's going to be subjected to only the repayment options that are available for Parent Plus loans. So that's why it's important to know what your debt looks like. Do you have a majority of your debt in Parent Plus loans, or is majority of that debt in your own personal loans? So if you make that decision, you want to make sure that you're doing that 100% informed, of course, so that way you're not getting yourself in a position where you've consolidated, you know, your own debt into a Parent Plus loan, and now you can't get the you can't unconsolidate it once it's already done. So it's important. Log into your student aid account, studentaid.gov, making sure that you're looking at the details of your loans. So that way you can know if you have those older Parent Plus loans that need to be consolidated into a direct loan, or if the majority of your debt, to see exactly where the majority of your debt resides. Is it with that Parent Plus loan, or if it's with your own student loans, before you make that decision to consolidate those two together, okay? All right, but in order to look at the One Big Beautiful Bill Act updates when it comes to your federal student loans, you just go to the student aid website, okay? And when you get to the student aid website, I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. So that way you'll know exactly where to go. So when you go to studentaid.gov, you're going to click on just the federal student aid, okay? And what you want to do is just scroll down here to the bottom. And this is where you'll see announcements. You can see more news and events, but here, this is where you see One Big Beautiful Bill Act updates. And it tells you everything that you need to know. You can see when the department last updated the information. So it's most recent, October the 10th, just 2 days ago. And you want to go look at all of the recent updates, all of the information here, what changes were happening to income base, will all borrowers have access, what deadlines to meet eligibility for IBR plan, and what steps the department is taking to implement the IBR plan. But you want to take a look here, so that way you'll know exactly what changes are happening with under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Okay. All right. So let's go back and let's talk about, all right. So these are the forgiveness programs that I'm going to be covering. We're going to talk about public service loan forgiveness for Parent Plus loans, total and permanent disability. We're going to talk about borrower defense to repayment discharge, also false certification discharge, identity theft discharge as well. These are all programs that are available for Parent Plus loan borrowers, and we're going to cover those. All right, let's get started.